California State Park, the South Yuba River, and Malakoff Diggins. We have a standing room only here at the Miners Foundry.
The team that came together, many of us inspired by Sean's comments. A dozen of us have been meeting once a week, building a team and reaching out more and more so that tonight's event was put on by the community with great help from our staff, and I want to thank Miriam Lamote for leading that effort. It's an event coming together of citizens, which is what SYRCL is, the Citizens League, so thank you. 20 years ago, this community came together with SYRCL and proved that people can save a river. Tonight, we're going to show the state of California that people can save the state parks too. Now, I respect our governor. He was a neighbor. He has a very difficult job. The state budget is a mess. We all know this. But closing 70 state parks and our treasured South Yuba River State Park and Malakoff Diggins State Park, that's not okay, and that's no way to balance a budget. Many of you worked with SYRCL years ago to designate this river a state park. You went out and you won wild and scenic protection for this river. Now, I grew up here. I'm going to this river, enjoying its swimming holes, and I can't imagine it dammed. That was a fight we couldn't afford to lose then. I remember walking on Independence Trail, the first wheelchair-accessible trail in this country, with my father. And that's a precious memory I want others like myself to enjoy. Today, I went down to Sacramento with over 40 students from the Grass Valley Charter School, and we met with Resource Director John Laird. And these students told Secretary Laird, and this is so beautiful, nature is our teacher, and these state parks are our classroom. We're not going to stand by now and allow these treasured parks with their wonderful swimming holes, their beautiful trails, our children's classrooms to be abandoned by the state. Yeah. We're here tonight, all of us in this room, with one shared purpose: to prevent our state parks from closure. I say to Governor Brown, Resource Secretary Laird, and Parks Director Coleman, remove these state parks from the closure list. Yeah! It's campaign season early, folks. We got a new one. Save our Yuba State Parks. We want you to join that. These parks, I don't have to tell you this, they offer us beauty, serenity, places to swim, boat, fish. They educate us about our past. They attract visitors who boost our economy. And as Matt said, a park that spans 20 miles of river can't be physically closed. But without the work of your staff, without the maintenance, the security, and the oversight by California State Parks Department, the entire area is put at great risk, and public safety is threatened, and we've got your back. Who here remembers Bridgeport before it was a state park? I remember that when I was a little kid, that there was a lot of broken glass there, and it could be pretty unruly at times. My folks were like, you have to go to Berkeley. Which has its own thing. But we're not allowed to take glass there. Now Bridgeport is the most family-friendly place to swim and picnic on the Yuba, and that's where we had our river cleanup picnic. And it's beautiful there. It's amazing. And Sean described it so beautifully. If it closes next summer, though, and all the buildings are locked up, and there are no restrooms open, and there's no one picking up the garbage, how long do you think it'll stay a place that you'd take your kids?
1 weekend.
That's sobering, isn't it? 1 weekend. What do you think the lack of sanitation there would do to the water quality and the health of the river? 1 weekend. Year after year, the state parks budget has been put on the block, but it's also been cut over and over again. Now we have 1/3 of the park staff that we had in 2009. Still, the presence of our state parks rangers protects the numerous historic buildings in our parks, including the Bridgeport Covered Bridge and all of those beautiful, really cool mining buildings up at Malakoff Diggins. Imagine now what would happen if those buildings were left unprotected. Imagine the risk from vandalism, dumping, graffiti, fire. 1 week. SYRCL is also concerned about how park closures would hurt the local economy. Researchers at Sacramento State University found that state parks more than pay for themselves. This is interesting. They found that each visitor spends about $33 per visit, and out-of-state visitors spend about $185 each time they come. Matt was telling me that the statistic for visits to South Yuba was 354,000 in 2009. Let's do the math. Now, some people say that that number is closer to 600,000 or even more. But let's say it's just 350,000. Each of those visitors come, they enjoy a day on the river, and then they head into town to shop, to dine, to spend the night, and what do they generate? $9 to $11 million just into our local economy every year. But we don't need a study to tell us that visitors love this place too, right? Just the other day, one of our local hotel owners, Peggy Levine, who's here tonight, she told me that she always sends her guests to 2 places, Bridgeport and Malakoff, and they always return with a great big smile. We can't afford to lose that. Governor Brown, closing the parks will not save the state money. SYRCL recognizes that the state of California is hurting financially. We all can see that. And we understand that protecting our parks requires partnerships, increased volunteerism, and a willingness to consider new revenues such as modest parking lot fees. Certainly, SYRCL members never shy away from taking care of the river we love. Just 3 months ago, SYRCL mobilized more than 650 volunteers to remove over 14,000 pounds of garbage from the riverbanks in just 1 day. Last summer, SYRCL members paid for the placement of needed porta potties at Purdon Crossing. If the State Parks Department sticks with us and keeps the parks open, I expect SYRCL members and the community at large will step up and volunteer to help keep the parks cleaner, renew their annual memberships to pay for more bathrooms this summer, and this is important, educate the young and the old to be good stewards, which at the very least means if you pack it in, please pack it out. I look around this room and see all of you, our elected officials, our sheriff, our firefighters, our dedicated Parks Association members, and I know that if we pull together as a community, we can keep these parks open, and we can keep our hardworking park staff on the job so they can continue to maintain these resources, provide security, search and rescue, and so much more. But first, we need to get the parks off the closure list. So how are we going to do that? If you haven't sat on these, pull them out, because this is the Save Our Yuba State Parks campaign activist kit. First thing, you all pick up your card, beautiful picture of the bridge addressed to Dear Governor Brown. This is a giant postcard we've put together. We want the governor to see it. And we've put a message and we've left room for you to put your own message. And this is an assignment for tonight. We printed 1,000, so we need each of you to fill out the card tonight, leave a personal message, and we will hand deliver these with you to the governor's office because Sacramento needs to hear from you. Does everybody have this card? All right. Next piece. Get your friends involved. This is a viral world we're living in. So we got a couple hundred people here. We need each of you to reach 10. So the next thing in your kit is the Yuba Save Parks campaign petition. All right? So 10 names. We have a challenge here tonight, folks. Mono Lake got their park off the list with 4,000 names. We're going to go for 5,000 in 30 days. 4,000 work for them, 5,000 better work for us, right, Sean? And Sean and I have an incentive for you. SYRCL will offer a Wild and Scenic Pass, and Sean's company will donate $250 to your favorite elementary school classroom to whoever collects the most names by January 12th.
There's drops of water on the wall, and drops about to fall, and it falls into a trickle, and it goes running down, down to the ground, and the moss begins to grow. Watch, 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 watch the water flow, and watch the current become a stream, busting through the seams, cracking through the concrete, bending down steel in a raging that is real, tearing torn that you can't feel. Feel the thunder blowing, thunder on the ground, and in my heart, chains falling apart.